One of the coolest features about the RMX, you can either have it in a manual mode or you can swap it to automatic. Makes the knife a lot of fun to carry. I'm gonna give you 5 tips to make that pivot swap really simple. Let's dive in. The way the RMX ships is in this lovely little box that we send it in, but what's special about it is there's a spot for all your extra parts. So you've got the tool to do the swap, you've got extra parts, and then you've got the auto pivot that you can put in. Those are all kept neatly in here, so don't throw the box out. Store it somewhere so when you want to do that pivot down the road, you got everything you need, organized, ready to rock. Tape the blade. I know it seems like something that should be obvious, but we are a sharpening company and our blades ship sharp as shit. I want you to be careful with this thing. Tape it up, don't be that guy, be safe, your fingers will thank you later. The blade helps hold that button lock in place. Here's what I mean by that. This button is under spring tension and that blade's actually helping hold it in place as long as it's at this 45-degree angle. If you don't keep it at that 45-degree angle, it tends to want to do something like this. So, unless you want to be chasing after parts all over the floor, keep it at a 45, keep your spring, keep your button lock where you know where they're at. Don't do any more work than you have to. What's cool about the RMX is it has 2 sides when it comes to the pivot. We'll call the A side the side with the button on it, and the B side the back side where the screw is. You don't ever need to take the B side out if you're just doing a swap. If you're doing a tear down, take it out. But if you don't want to save yourself some work, leave the B side in, put your finger on the screw to hold it in there, and then just perform the pivot swap on the A side of the RMX. We've given you 2 key ways that'll adjust how hard it fires when it's in auto. Getting to that second position can be a little tricky. Let me show you what I figured out to get that done. Okay guys, so as I have the tool on one side and the screw on the other, if you push on the screw, I can kind of do this back and forth a little bit. And you'll notice as I rotate this forward to lock into that first spot, it'll drop in. If I push a little bit on this screw, it'll give me just enough clearance to go beyond to the next one. And then I can put my thumb on and I'm in that second position. Now all I need to do is tighten this down and I've easily reached that second position. So then now this auto can fire even harder. Don't be afraid to over tighten that screw. So it's the last step you're gonna do. You're gonna tighten that down good and tight, and that's just gonna make sure everything's seated, the blade's centered where it's supposed to be. So when you push that button down, if it's an automatic, you're actually gonna have to help it open and close. Obviously, if it's a manual, you're gonna help it open and close. Do this about 10 or 15 times, and that's just gonna make sure everything's where it should be. Then you're gonna go into that same screw, back it off just a hair to where it'll actually fire again, and then you can adjust that to where you get the play and everything you want for your carry. That's gonna really help make sure everything's aligned and it carries properly in your pocket. Okay guys, that's gonna do it for my 5 tips to make those pivot swaps on your RMX a little bit easier. If you're looking for like a detailed walkthrough, we've got that link somewhere up here for you to go check out. That'll take you detailed step-by-step on how to do these pivot swaps. This was just a few of my things that I've found when I've been doing it to maybe help you out. If you've got a few more tips or tricks that you've learned along the way, make sure to leave a comment down below. Help the community out when it comes to these pivot swaps. We want you tearing into these knives. We want you playing with them, but we know sometimes it can get a little tricky. Hopefully this helped you out. If it did, like, subscribe, you know what to do. Thanks for watching, guys.